Welcome to Daddies the Podcast. This is episode 11. I'm Eric.
And I'm Greg.
And this week we are going to be talking about whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
It's so nice, isn't it?
I know.
Just be able to do whatever we want.
Not confined to the parameters of
one thing. I know when I was adding some stuff, we have a note, a shared note that we put thoughts and
collaboration.
We collaborate with, and I was just adding shit this morning. We have so much shit on here. So is there
something on there that you really wanted to talk about?
Yeah. So I want to talk about something that you and I discussed last week after we finished the episode, and we were coming home, and this guy was at a four-way stop sign. You remember?
Okay.
And someone else went, and the dude in front of us got irritated and gave the guy his finger.
And
we're like, let's talk about shitty fucking drivers.
Yeah. Well, where do the shittiest drivers live?
Well, we live in Delaware, so I feel like here. But you know where I've noticed drivers fucking suck? Florida.
I think it's just Florida is just crazy.
Florida just sucks.
You know where I think the best drivers live? Probably New York. I think it's amazing what they do because I'm too intimidated to drive in New York City.
Well, yeah, New York City.
Yeah, New York City being different than I'm not talking about Albany.
Sure. Well, so what about any city? Is it safe to say any city driving, you have to be on your fucking A game?
Probably. Yeah. City drivers way better, way more gooder than like a rural driver.
So imagine being a cab driver. You're a fucking cab driver and you're doing that. I guess you're doing it so much, but you better be fucking amazing. You know?
Did you see that video of that cab driver? He had a guy picked up and this guy he just got into the passenger seat of his car while he had a guy in the back.
Okay.
And he started to rob him. He was like, "Yo, give me all your money."
Okay.
And the guy and the cab driver was like, you don't want this smoke. Basically, he was like, you're not doing anything here. And he didn't like grab the gun and put it to his head like a movie or anything like that. He was like, you're not going to do shit. And then he eventually chased the guy out and just pulled away. He kept his cool like no other.
So that was not his first rodeo.
I guess he's probably been robbed before. It's my second rodeo.
So speaking of driving and cars and this isn't really related, but it involves a car.
Okay.
The acorn story with that police officer.
I saw that. I saw the acorn. I saw the clip of the acorn.
So for those of you that don't know, someone got pulled over, and I guess he was getting arrested for something.
Yeah.
An acorn fell off of a tree and hit the top of the police car. And this cop, I've never seen something so overdramatic. He said, "Shots fired, shots fired, shots fired." And he rolled, not once, not twice. He did 3 tactical get out of the way rolls.
Oh, I heard him afterwards. He was like, "I think I was hit."
Well, so then pulls out his gun and starts unloading on the squad car. Well, I guess it was part of like the sheriff. He was like a deputy sheriff or whatever. The sheriff's like, "Where are the shots coming from?" He's like, "The car." So then the sheriff pulls out his gun and unloads. And then the guy goes, "I'm hit," not realizing that when he rolled, he hit his knee on the ground.
Jesus Christ.
They shot all the windows out. Somehow the guy didn't die, but both of them resigned, and I wonder why.
That's good. Yeah.
Like,
good.
What the fuck?
That's wild.
I saw the video today, actually.
Well, you said he was really overdramatic. Have you ever asked like either of your kids like, "Hey, go get in the shower"?
And it's the end of the world. And so someone was like, well,
"That's pretty overdramatic." They're pretty overdramatic for that.
He has PTSD from war. There's more to the story, and maybe so. But then you're unfit to be in that.
Then maybe you're not the best person to be holding the gun.
Of power.
Yeah.
Then fuck.
If all it takes is an acorn. You know?
And somehow when I was driving, Jen and I were driving to Florida last year, and we sat in traffic in Virginia for 8 or 9 hours.
Oh, that abduction.
We drive right by the car, riddled with bullet holes. So this guy abducted I guess his ex-girlfriend. The police shot the car up and killed her and didn't get him.
Jesus.
Could you imagine? No. Oh, not only am I kidnapped, but now I'm also dead.
Killed by the police.
Yeah, what the fuck? The people who are whatever. But that made me think of driving. So shitty drivers. Okay, so Can we talk about like yields versus stops versus roundabouts?
Hold on,
like,
I'm really passionate about a zipper merge. All right, hear me
all
out.
right, yep,
I go through a light, and after that light, it was two lanes straight through. After that light, after you get through, both of those lanes combine, it merges into one. But like the left lane stays and the right lane has to merge
There's
into
the arrow
the left lane.
that,
right? It's basically saying, hey, this right lane ends.
Sure.
You need to get over.
Yep.
But people don't like to let you over. Let me tell it. Everybody needs to hear this. If every single person was just in that left lane, half of the cars wouldn't get through. You can fit twice as many cars through if everybody just goes through the light at the same exact time and then zipper merges in right when the lane is supposed to end. You ain't getting to where you got to go any fucking faster by not letting the person next to you over.
And what's the general rule of thumb? You let one person in.
Yep.
Right. And I get it. If you're being an asshole and you know for a mile the lane's ending and you try to speed up, that's a different. But you still got to let where are they going to go? So you're telling me you're going to cause an accident to prove some stupid fucking point?
If the lane's gonna end in a mile, get over in a mile.
Sure.
Like the people that get over 1 mile early and then don't let anybody in after that. Oh, sorry, you should have got in a mile back.
And you know what I also can't stand? You're merging over and the person behind you decides to speed up.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Or like, even if I'm merging and it's not like just at the end of a lane, but I want to get over, turn my turn signal on, there's plenty of space. But then someone, or like when you're turning like left or right, and then someone's like, fuck you. And it's like, really, you can't give me 2 seconds to accelerate to, obviously, like, yeah, most of us go quicker and faster than the speed limit, but you have to at least be going the speed limit. So if I pull out going 35, obviously I'm not going to pull out going 75 and flip my car. I have to accelerate to get to the speed limit. It's going to take a second.
It's not the Fast and the Furious.
It's not because
Vin Diesel would be upset because that's not all about
family.
It's not all about family, right?
As a family, but yeah, now what about roundabouts? Right, in a roundabout, you don't fucking stop in the roundabout. So like there's one right by Isla's school.
Yeah.
And people feel the need to stop and let you in. That's not how it works. You yield to your left.
Once you're in the roundabout,
you go.
You have right away.
That's it.
No one stops in the roundabout.
The only person you should be worried about in that roundabout is the person on your immediate left, whoever is left of you. Because they're the ones coming in, you have to yield to your left.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that's the only person you should worry about. So I shouldn't be in the roundabout and then someone's trying to get it. I'm not going to stop and let you in. You can get. No. If I'm in, I'm in.
Well, it's the same people that get to a stop sign and then they're there first, and then you pull up to the stop sign and then they wave you through.
Just go.
It makes me
especially because if I go and get into an accident, it's my fault.
Yeah.
It is on me.
Yep.
So don't that's not what we're doing. Just fucking go. The only time it gets kind of confusing on the off chance that all 4 of you get to a 4-way at the same but then it's what?
I believe you're supposed to rock, paper, scissors.
You just get
in the car.
Yeah, so then but that is that never happens, really.
You know what I do? I always just go first.
Sure.
Yeah, if I think that we got there at the same time,
give everyone the finger. Just fucking go. But my thing is, like, people become such dicks and such idiots when it comes to driving for whatever fucking reason.
I wonder what it is. What's the science behind that?
I don't know, but there's got to be something.
I'm sure that there is.
But yeah, I mean, even today, like, I went to get coffee from Dunkin' Donuts.
What kind of roast?
Regular.
Okay.
Regular. Yeah, it was the regular.
I never got the naming scheme of coffees. So what is it? I think regular isn't a roast type. What is it? Blonde? Is blonde like how light the coffee bean is?
So I think of blonde as a lighter roast, but like there's breakfast blend. Is that a different roast?
Maybe.
Or is it just more water?
I don't know.
Do you add more water to something and now it's lighter?
You know what? We have coffee waiting for us, and I kind of want it.
All right, let's go get a cup of coffee so that way we can keep...
Yeah, let's get coffee, and we'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Got coffee. So the first time I tried to make a pot, I made a fucking pot of water. So got coffee, which I really need. I've had such a fucking headache today.
Caffeine do it for you?
Well, I was going to ask you when you picked up lunch to get me a soda pop, but coffee is a little bit better.
Capriati's, we got Bobby's, but they didn't have
anything.
So their refrigerator was down. Yeah, I mean like the beverage cooler out front, And it said like, feel free to ask for like sodas from the back.
So they probably just have them.
Yeah, I'm sure they still had the sodas.
They probably just have them like a little in their fridge in the back where they keep, but whatever. But anyway, this coffee is good. But something I do want to talk about
is creaming your coffee.
Sure. So, okay. Do you come directly into your coffee?
No, I come into the tablespoon so I can measure it, and then I mix it into the coffee.
Do you measure your cream?
No.
Or is it's all eyeballed?
By color.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep pouring, which honestly, this one is like what did you give me? Peppermint mocha?
Peppermint mocha.
It's not as...
It's still kind of dark-ish.
Yes. Yeah. It didn't lighten it up as much as like regular half and half.
And you
does.
sugared it too, which is wild. That's sweet.
Well, I thought I was going to use half and half, and then you told me the half and half was questionable.
We got it like 3.5 weeks ago. It's been opened for 3 weeks.
That's okay.
So,
that's okay. I'm good with a little bit of diarrhea.
But let me ask you something.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So Jenna got a really interesting email from a coworker yesterday. Yes. And so the email invited her essentially to come to this individual's church for Easter. That's fucking weird, right? Especially if, one, I don't know you really well, and two, I wouldn't do that in a work email.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and also I probably wouldn't do it in an email at all. That would be something I sent you. So that way, if you tried to kick, I never said that.
That's interesting. Yeah. Does he think that she needs saving?
Maybe. Or I have a theory that you go, so say you go to church, right? Yeah. And so they said, all right, Eric, this Easter, you fucking better bring 2 or 3 people to us.
Or they're going to chop your hands off.
They're going to chop your hands off. Or because then with people in church comes tithing and money, So
the church is just pushing people.
I think
probably.
That's what.
Or third option,
to fuck.
He wants to smash.
That's absolutely on the table, right?
Yeah.
It's so. She was really uncomfortable, and I feel like I've never had
this
happen.
Probably isn't going to help.
Yeah, right. I did ask if it was okay if we talked about this because I think it's really fucking weird. Yes. And I talked to multiple people at work about it just to see like how they would feel getting invited to church. And then it was like, we won't talk about this ever again.
That's what it said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start inviting people to church.
You should.
But I just won't go. I'm just going to tell them to come to a church. Be like, yeah, I'll be there on Sunday. And I just won't be there.
But also, hear me out.
Yeah.
Is church like a place to fuck?
Maybe.
I
mean, you know what? Statistically, most people at church have fucked.
Sure.
Right?
That's fair.
So, yeah. I don't think they fucked at church.
Well,
maybe after.
Maybe
that's what they do.
But that's fucking weird, right? Mm-hmm. And so have you what's the weirdest thing that has ever really happened to you at work? Like, do you remember a time where you felt so uncomfortable at work?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I just snotted on my fucking mic. So you were here for this, so you know this story already.
Okay. All right. Go.
And you're gonna know. Don't spoil it. I want to tell it.
All right.
We're going for a big group picture, and everybody goes outside, and we have this. There was this movement to make everybody wear tie dye, and it's all peace and love. So we're all wearing tie dye t-shirts, and we have a tie dye wrapped vehicle, and I think I'm sitting in the driver's seat of this vehicle, and Greg, you were sitting in the passenger seat of the vehicle.
Yeah.
And the picture was being taken of the side of the car. Everybody else was standing behind the car. Well, this one woman, her name was Barbie. She opens the car door right next to my face, right? She stands on where I would climb to get into the car, and she sticks her pussy right in my face.
I mean, this pussy was so close to your face that you could literally.
It was a moose. It was a moose knuckle, and I was scared for my life. So That thing was screaming. So anyway, I didn't see it right away because I'm like looking over at you towards the picture.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you looked behind me and like what made a face, but I turned around and I go, oh my God. And she just like bends her head down and she goes, you're welcome. That fucked me up.
To this day, and that was probably almost 10 years ago at this point. And so do you still jerk off?
To that thought?
To that
yes.
thought.
The moose knuckle was so clearly defined.
So I'll tell you, Do
you have one?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a work, it's a school.
Okay.
It's a school one. I was in German.
Okay.
And I think it was German 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so 9th, 10th grade.
Okay.
This individual came in and he was like, hey, I'm gay. And it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, whatever. He was, I think, new. I don't know where he came from, but and I thought that was cool. Like, that you were comfortable enough to like, cool, whatever.
Because back then it was starting to become more acceptable, but it was still definitely like, oh.
And I was like, that's cool. Like, whatever. Like, I didn't give a fuck. And he was like, yeah, but like, have you ever tried it? And I was like, oh no, like I'm 100%, like I don't have a problem with you being gay, but I'm definitely straight. And at that point, like, I think I was still like a virgin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I was definitely
ninth grade.
attracted to females.
Yes.
And he was like, yeah, but if you suck a dude off, it tastes like a crushed up pretzel smoothie. And then my friend who was in the class was like, yeah, when I get bored on the bus, that's what we do on the bus.
Suck each other's dicks.
And I was like, what
is this, prison?
What the fuck? Yeah. And I don't know why that really just made me uncomfortable. One, because it's like on the school bus, here's what I used to do on the school bus, right? This was my favorite thing. Your headphones on.
Oh, yeah.
You have your CD player that would skip every jump, and you would just lay your head on that cold ass window.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I wanted to do on the bus. I
Yep.
just sleep for 20 minutes until I got home.
I would just do my homework on the bus.
Sure. Yeah.
For that day.
Just be.
But do you know how I feel about procrastination? If you put everything off to the last minute, everything just takes a minute.
Or,
yeah.
And then you get your nickel back. Shut the fuck up. Okay, but look, procrastination is proven to.
Are you scared that I'm going to keep dropping Nickelback references?
That's why I just blew your load. I blew your load. But procrastination, like I think I've procrastinated in just about everything that's super important in my life.
Yeah.
Because you get better results.
Sure.
And I don't know how true it is, but
you
like
work better under
pressure. Look at SpongeBob. He wrote that bomb ass paper about, and then they ended
up. Was it the one? It was just the. Was that the one?
And he was like working on it. Looks like it was about to be.
But you brought something up that I kind of wanted to ask. Would you be gay for the stay? You go to prison for how long? Right. You're there for 20 years. No conjugal visits. No nothing. You're not going to see anybody that you know.
Sure.
You gonna be gay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably right.
Suck dick for extra lunch money, or
I think you just get extra suck your dick for a Twinkie or whatever. But would you be gay for pay?
Gay for pay? Well, I've heard it doesn't pay that well. So
okay, not gay pornography, but if someone was like, "Here's $1 million."
Oh, absolutely, $1 million for sure.
How many individuals would you be gay with
for $1 million?
Yep.
I don't know. There's a number that just probably would make anybody feel uncomfortable. It wouldn't be a lot.
So okay.
I mean, the $1 million for one dude.
You're not getting bukkakied for a mill.
I mean, if you're just getting loads dropped on you, then I'm not actually sucking any dicks, right? You're just sitting there. You have to
for
handle
$5
it.
million, you're sucking 10 dicks.
5 mil, 10 dicks, 500,000 a dick.
Put me on one of those
500,000 a load.
Spin
me around.
5 million.
500,000. 500,000 a load. Yeah. Sure.
That's fair.
You're never going to get a return like that on anything else.
Take it from me. When I thought stonks was going to be the, this.
Oh yeah.
I didn't make 500,000.
Tesla calls.
Tesla calls ruined me. So sometimes you just gotta, But that leads me to, everyone has a cost.
Yeah.
Right. There's
yeah.
It just is what it is. Money is money is the most, I don't want to say the most important thing in your life, but it's one of the most.
It's a motivator.
It's a motivator, and it's one of the highest stressors in your life. So if you remove that from the equation, $5 million and you're set up, you could be set up for the rest of your life if you invest that properly and you know what I mean? So then if you eliminate the money stressor, then those 10 dicks, it was worth it.
Oh, yeah. How long do you think that would take? How long would it take for you to make
10 dudes come?
That'd take a while.
Am I spinning? Because
that would help, right?
I feel like it's like one of those, or
does it reset progress after you let go of the dick? He's back. It does
because it's like you think about it. If you're getting jerked off or you're jerking off and you
How about this?
or change grip,
you pay a fluffer to keep everyone keep the other ones up, and you give them 10%.
If you change the rhythm, it's like, oh, I'm about to come, and then it's like, oh, my hand's tired. Let me swap.
And you want to swap to the other hand.
The whole thing's ruined now.
Yeah. Now I'm in for another at least 5 minutes.
Oh, we're starting over. And there's only so much that you can do until it starts to get raw.
Yeah.
But let me ask you.
Yeah.
Can you catch, or have you accidentally ever came in your mouth?
That's not what I was expecting you to say. You heard my affirmative yes. No, I have not ever accidentally ever come in my mouth. Do I think that I could? Absolutely.
Did you ever come?
Did you ever come in your own mouth?
Did you ever came? Yeah, came would not be.
Or nutted. Did you ever nutted it in your own mouth?
Did you ever nut in your own mouth?
Yeah. No, I didn't, but I think I could.
I have before, and not intentionally. So.
Oh, because you go all over your tummy, as declared.
I want a T-shirt that says like something like that should be a Daddies T-shirt.
Come on my tummy. Hey, wait, by the way, anybody that's listening, for the next, week plus, we have a T-shirt still on sale.
Yeah, so please, if you haven't, so we need to sell, I think, 24 to kick the fundraiser.
Links on our Hoobie, or it's on our website,
so
on our socials.
Custom Ink is the designer, and they actually called me yesterday. The guy called me, and he said, hey, everything looks great, but I want to add a white border because the shirt is... it's a slightly different color, so I think this would really make it pop. The dude called me and had a good 10-minute conversation with him. But yes, it's on our who.be.
Who.be.
Oh, and the link is in our Instagram profile. Please buy them if you haven't. They are a little bit on the pricier side, but we opted for a nicer shirt. And it's just, that was like one of the cheapest costs we can do. It's just, we have to sell X amount to kick the fundraiser off. So they won't get shipped from us. They'll get shipped directly from Custom Ink. And then eventually we will just have someone who makes our shirt and they handle that part of it. Like we won't house them. It's 2024. We don't have to house this stuff here.
But we could.
But then we have to buy a lot of inventory and bring it in. So, it's nice that someone else would handle that.
Yeah. Good.
But please buy them. And also, you are now able to listen to the podcast in our Hoobie. So if you don't have a Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Audible, you're able to just pull up that link.
What did you say? It's embedded.
It's embedded in. So all you have to do is pull it up and hit play, and it'll just play. You don't need to sign up, register, nothing, and it won't collect anything from you. So I feel like sometimes people don't want to sign up for like Spotify because it asks for like demographics, and like they're not I don't want to give that. Like I don't give a fuck, but some people are.
Sure.
And so you can just go in and just fucking do it. But also I don't want to make it to circle back to what we were talking about. I don't just sit there and bust loads into my mouth. Like it happened one time, and it was because I looked down at an inopportune time and I sprayed my face.
Well, I mean, I don't know whose defense this is in. You knew that you were going to come. It wasn't a surprise.
But it didn't happen. So like, you get the feeling. Coming is I would say a 3-stepped process, right?
Walk
3 steps. There are 3 steps in the coming process, right? The first step, the tingle.
Yeah.
You're like, all right. And then you get the step number 2, the shaft pressure.
And that, I believe, coincides with the point of no return.
Oh,
that one is the point of no return.
So step 1, you can back off, and now you've edged.
That's edging, right? If you stop at step 1, edging. 2.
And 2, if you're fucking, like, there is no, like, I'm just going to keep going because I can't now once I've hit, I'm just going to keep.
Go ahead. Say this, but I got something for that.
Well, and then 3, the explosion, the fireworks.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, I've
yes.
found if you don't continue to touch it, move it around, after stage
Don't look
2,
at it.
after the pressure, at the point of no return, stuff's going to come out.
Sure.
But then you're able to go back again.
You don't go completely flaccid because you have the refractory period where that's the time where it takes to get
a global cool down period.
Sure.
Yeah.
15 minutes, I think is fair. I'm not fucking again. Like it's really hard unless you're blue chewing it.
Sure. Yeah. You have some penis enhancing
But look,
drugs.
Step 2 happened.
Yeah.
Nothing came out.
Ooh,
and I'll tell you why. No, because I had a stent in. You remember that was when I was going through that? So it was dry ejaculations.
Oh, so this is that time. So nothing came out.
So then the next time that happened, so I was like, oh, okay. So then this is, well, then.
It said, gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. And it did come out and surprise, motherfucker. And that was how I discovered I liked it.
Did it taste like a crushed up pretzel smoothie?
It did, yeah. I like to, so I used to follow someone on MySpace and his thing was, I like to watch girls drink cum. Like drink my cum. So he would make cumsicles or like I've been coming in this pitcher for, a week straight.
Yeah.
And they would drink it and they would, tilt it up. And those were the Facebook picture or the MySpace picture. Wow. This was a MySpace page. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. MySpace used to be fucking wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know.
That is wild. No, but I have not.
Okay, but speaking of coming and like fucked up things.
Okay.
So Jen and I were watching that new like Quiet on the Set story about Nickelodeon.
I've seen some people talking about it.
And so everyone, I mean, we've all known for 5 or 6 years that Dan Schneider, the individual that created the Amanda Show, was a writer on All That, Drake and Josh. Like
he did a ton of Victorious.
So Sam and Cat, all of those shows were his. Like that was his thing.
What's that, showrunner?
Mm-hmm. Creator. He was the creator.
Yeah.
But then it came out like, hey, he was kind of, and then it turns out like he would like yell at these people. And so we watched the first 2 episodes and he would do like, if you go back and watch it, they're like simulated cum shots where it's just like Ariana Grande, like, oh, she's like squirking a potato like this. She's like, I wonder if it can spray my face.
What?
And then there's one where like, I think Sam gets sprayed with like lotion all over her face. And,
Jesus.
Yeah. And so like, and apparently
like in the show.
And apparently he was doing that like as like,
God.
And so we only got to episode 2. So I think there's 4 out right now. But then I guess there was someone who was on the set just raping everybody.
Oh,
and yeah.
Jesus.
And then it ends, and I'm not going to say who comes out. And they're like, well, who was getting raped? So there's cast members from All That, The Amanda Show. And they're like, who are you talking about? And then this individual comes out and it's like, oh shit, this makes so much sense now why this person is so fucked up. And I'm not going to spoil it because it's a really good watch. Also, like, I think watch this and then kind of do some research outside of it too.
So I haven't seen this yet, so I can't spoil it. But so if this is the person, you don't have to say it. But have you seen Amanda Bynes lately?
Well, she got her tattoo removed off her face.
Did she?
And apparently she got sober.
Oh,
because she was going down a real fucked up. But if you watch this show, it makes sense.
One of my favorites. I love her.
A lot of these people were fucked up.
Yeah.
And so like evidently Dan Schneider was like paying, hey, I have 2 female writers, but you're each going to get half a salary. So I only have to pay 1 full salary, which apparently is a huge no-no, like against the screenwriter. Like you can't do that. And then I guess they went and said something to them. And then he found out and was like, you guys are like conspiring against me. I'll ruin your career.
Yeah.
But then also he had this obsession with feet. So there's always a lot of foot stuff in his shows.
Interesting.
I highly recommend watching it. I mean, you kind of know that shit happens, but like it's pretty.
That was the whole Harvey Weinstein.
Well, that's
thing.
what I was telling Jen. I was like, Dan Schneider is the equivalent to Harvey Weinstein minus fucking. So he used his power to say, hey, I need you to do this for me.
And can I say this, that when the Harvey Weinstein thing went down, it really ruined a good business plan that I had. You know what a Stein is? like to carry beer, like Oktoberfest. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
So I was going to make those, but they're supposed to carry wine. So a Weinstein, but the branding would just be too close to Weinstein. So,
And you want to be so far away from that.
so if anybody has a good nickname for Weinstein, let me know.
Yeah.
Can you think of anything? Can you help me out? Because that was really my bread and butter. I kind of put everything in to the
you were
Weinstein.
all in.
I'm sitting on a bunch of inventory.
What
Just waiting for a name rebrand.
What is it? No, you got to buy at least 50
50 fedoras.
like fake mustaches.
It's only worth it to me if you buy them in bulk.
It's like, I guess we can buy a couple. Like, yeah.
What's that fucking show?
Not Tim Robinson. Is it Tim Robinson?
I think it is Tim Robinson. Yeah. That guy's fucking funny.
Highly recommend. It's on Netflix. But speaking of shows, overrated shows, right?
Okay.
So that got me thinking, like, all right, I used to love like Drake and Josh and Victorious and all those shows. Like I enjoyed them. But like, so you really just had Cartoon Network, you had Nickelodeon, or you had the Disney Channel. I feel like those were the three as a child.
Yep, as a kid, that's all you really had.
I watched Nickelodeon. You were big on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
But what show is like so fucking overhyped? And I know we talked about this a little bit when we went through top whatever shows, and I still think The Sopranos is up there and The Simpsons. But like, I know for you, I think it's The Office, right? Like, I think.
Oh my God!
Right?
100%. I've tried to watch The Office multiple times, and it's funny. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying it's a bad show, but it is not the funniest show like of all time.
And so like, I love The Office.
Yes.
But I get where you're coming from because I hated The Office when it first came out.
Sure.
And then I watched it and I grew to love it. But you know what?
I'm not saying anybody's wrong.
Sure.
Either.
Yeah. And that's fair. For me, it's fucking Friends.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, like every time Friends is on, so you're telling me it's supposed to be funny when someone is saying pivot to the couch for 20 minutes? Like, I don't understand.
Just laugh track. It's just laugh track sitcom.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's another one. You look at fucking Matthew Perry. I mean, what a fucked up life. Like, it's so wild how Hollywood really just is not a happy place half the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But too,
you know what? I guess we should be glad that we never made it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I prioritize my happiness over pretty much anything else. So
As you
I don't think
should.
that I would ever be that fucked up.
my problem is like I have an addictive personality. You know that. Like, and I think that people.
I think I was there with you when you had your first cigarette ever. Was that your first cigarette ever?
I don't know if it was my first one ever, but like my first.
You went down. You would just binge.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? Your bachelor party?
Yeah.
We were in Newark, and you just stuck. We were out on the
whole
on the patio.
Like 3?
I think we were out on the patio
Yeah.
at like Homegrown or something like that. I don't know. And you absolutely had more than 2 cigarettes in your mouth at a time, and you were trying to suck on them all, and then you kept trying to blow
smoke rings.
blow smoke rings, and I guess I don't know if this is really the way, but you kept like smacking you.
Yeah, I don't think you're. Well, I always see people, I think, hitting their face, but I think it's the pucker of the pucker of the lips. So you have to make that.
You know who blows a bomb ass smoke ring?
Who?
Gandalf
R.I.P.
from the Lord of the Rings. Like Gandalf ain't dead.
Didn't he fall into a giant lava hole?
Well, spoiler alert, he comes back in the very next movie.
Oh wait, really? So that doesn't.
Motherfucker, did you not watch The Two Towers?
No, because I hate the Lord of the Rings.
It's so good. I know you gave me a copy of each of them on DVD. Why did you have all 3?
Because I used to remember addictive personality. I went through that thing where I would just buy movies.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, but it was only $2.99 on Black Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought he died, and I always see the "you shall not pass."
Yeah, that's the scene where he
with the tree.
dies. So he actually dies. He does sort of in a way die, but then he comes back as Gandalf the White.
But like, wait, really? Just has on a different outfit.
So Saruman, his mentor, was Saruman the
dragon.
White. No, that's Schmegma. Or no, that's
it's just Dick Cheese. Dick Cheese the dragon.
the Desolation of Smog. That's it, Smog.
Which Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes. Okay, but like, the dude falls into lava. Was it?
It wasn't lava. He was fighting a fire monster. The Balrog.
Was it Clerks where he's like, well, why didn't they just fly? Drop the
With the
fucking
eagles?
it dropped the fucking ring in, you know?
Yeah, and that's fair.
No, okay, but I don't know. I can't get into Lord of the Rings just like I can't get into Star Wars. And you know what else I don't really like and I think is overrated? That 70s show.
I love that 70s
Yeah?
show. I do love that 70s show. It was a time thing, I think. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Although, who's the guy that played Hyde?
Oh yeah, that's another one. I mean, didn't he just get like a life sentence for like multiple counts of
He's
rape?
in forever jail.
Yeah, he will die forever. But something too in that 70s show, I think they were like going out to eat and like how cheap food was back then compared to now. Like, okay,
Because food costs to be crazy.
so you picked up a sandwich for lunch and we split it.
Yeah.
How much was that sandwich?
I didn't even grab a receipt. It was like the sandwich was probably $22
That's wild.
for a.
Was it a $22 sandwich? I think so, man. It was a lot of food. You could split that 4 ways.
We're just pieces of shit. And
We
eat the whole
each ate
thing.
half. So, but you could split that. So what's 22 divided by 4? 6? Not even.
Almost. Yeah. 5 and some change.
That's not a bad deal. But
Yeah.
for it kind of sucks for just a sandwich.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
but you go to
Because
McDonald's.
you used to go to Subway, $5 foot long.
$5 foot long. But you go to McDonald's now, you get a number 1. Okay, that'll be $15.99.
I think it's more logical to go to just Chili's to get a burger.
Well, yeah. So the cost of going to like Applebee's or Chili's is the same.
I wonder
almost.
how that works.
Because they said
They have other things that they're selling. They have people coming for the happy hour and they're able to sell a burger. Do you think the burgers lose them money?
no, I don't think so. But like, I think that McDonald's just hasn't fucking figured it out. But also, you think about it too. McDonald's, you need more people at a fast food place than you do in a restaurant.
Because it's so fast. That must be
A
it.
restaurant, you have what, 4 or 5 cooks, but McDonald's, that whole kitchen has people all over the fucking place. You need 3 or 4 people out front, a manager.
All right, I got it. You ready? I'm going to open up a restaurant. It's fast food, but you've got to order it ahead.
Only order
It's a
ahead.
fast food restaurant.
The concept is order ahead.
But I've only got a few dudes that are working in there at any given time, a few people that are working in there at any given time, right? So it's got the staff of a Chili's.
like,
You walk in and you say, sorry, I can't take your order. You have to order it online.
is that like in Step Brothers when
No.
they do karaoke, but only for people who can sing? Right? Like you're not
Is that
allowed to
Step
do it if you're not good. So
I'm
you have
thinking more of Knocked Up, where the love interest, the female love interest, she was running the eBay store, and Jonah Hill comes in to buy the boots.
He's like, that's not how. Oh no, 40-year-old virgin.
Oh, is that 40-year-old virgin?
And
Yes.
he's like, yeah, no, I want to buy these boots. She's like, oh, that's not how it works. You give us your stuff. What is it? You give them the stuff, and she would sell it on eBay and take a cut. Which, by the way, I love that movie.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, let me ask you though, what is an like acceptable lunchtime? Like, I feel like for me, 10:30, 11, like 10:30 to 11:30 is lunchtime for me, right?
So I think there's different eating cadences, right?
Okay.
There's people that do like they fast. What is that? You fast for 18 hours of the day.
And apparently that's supposed to be really good for your body, right?
I've heard.
Allegedly.
I've heard. It's
Yeah.
possible.
Sure.
But if that's the case, if you say it's 18, what it means, you can eat for 6 hours. If you eat at 10 in the morning,
Yep.
10:30, call it 11.
Yep.
That means you could eat until 5 o'clock.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if that's acceptable. But regardless, it sounds like you're just not eating breakfast. Or do you eat breakfast?
I hate breakfast.
You don't like breakfast?
Yeah.
Now, I love breakfast, but I rarely eat breakfast when I have to go to work that day.
So would you rather eat breakfast over lunch?
I think that breakfast is a top tier meal.
Okay.
I just am not hungry. Like if I have to go to work.
You got shit going on.
Yeah.
What
yeah,
about
yeah.
over dinner? So would you rather breakfast and dinner than lunch
Lunch
and
and
dinner?
dinner?
Because lunch is
Yeah.
so close
All
to
right.
dinner sometimes.
If you got to cut one meal, I already know your answer. You're cutting breakfast.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess if I had to cut a meal, it would probably be breakfast.
Because lunch and dinners can be so powerful.
Sure.
But like, I don't want to eat meatloaf for breakfast.
Anything can be breakfast if you try hard enough.
Or if you put it into an omelet. Because an omelet just says, hey.
I just think breakfast foods are great. You know what? I have no problem dropping breakfast as long as I can make breakfast for dinner.
like scrapple.
I
But you
love
don't eat the
Scrapple.
full brick.
Oh, we rarely have leftovers.
But like you.
Oh, I myself don't. I could. I just choose not to.
I used to. Whole brick of scrapple. Do you put ketchup on your scrapple?
Ready? Ready to have your mind blown?
mustard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's I feel like it's either mustard or ketchup. Like that's what people put on their scrap. Or mayonnaise is also acceptable if you have it on a sandwich.
There was that pizza place. I forget which one it was. They would do
The Scrapple Burger.
They would do Scrapple fries.
And
they did a sriracha ketchup, which I don't like sriracha ketchup.
I don't really like sriracha that much. Like it's fine.
I think the flavor of sriracha is amazing. That's at the top of my spiciness level.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. If it's too much, if I have too much of it in a bite,
it'll ruin it.
It's too overpowering. But I do like the taste a lot.
It's weird to me that it doesn't have to be refrigerated for some reason.
I think sriracha does.
I don't think it does.
I think sriracha is one of those things that.
Are you sure? You sure about that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Sure.
But okay. But talking about food, what about like allergies? Because I feel like now when we go out places, you're mindful of that, and it wasn't always that way.
You want to hear all the shit that I'm allergic to?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna rapid fire it off.
Yep.
Oh wow, I'm gonna split them off.
Okay.
I'm gonna split them up.
All right.
These are the foods that make my mouth itch.
Okay.
Avocado, apples, most fresh fruits and vegetables if they're uncooked.
Make your mouth itch.
Most of them do.
Okay.
And then bananas make my asshole itch.
Are bananas the only thing that make your asshole itch? So those other things make your mouth pussy itch.
Yeah. And bananas
make your ass pussy.
Maybe I'm just eating the bananas wrong.
Wait. Can anything become a pussy?
Can anything become a pussy? Oh, like a mouth pussy.
Your ass pussy, and your pussy.
Yeah, mouth pussy. What about your dick pussy? Do you have a dick pussy?
Or is pussy only something that can have something? Well, I guess you could sound. Your dick has a hole.
Your dick does have a hole.
So does that become a dick pussy?
Your dick hole could be your dick pussy because your mouth pussy is moist.
Your mouth pussy is moist, but your ass pussy is not moist unless you make it moist.
Yeah, your ass pussy does not self-lubricate.
What a tease. You get this asshole. But like somebody was sitting there one day and said, you know what? I got all these other holes.
Yeah.
But try that one.
Yeah. They just started putting stuff up their butthole.
Right on, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Who was the first? Oh, what is it called? Like legally, if you put things up people's buttholes, it's called not fornication. It's called
sodomy.
Sodomy. Yeah. What's up with that?
Well, so I think it's illegal in a lot of states where they're super anti-gay because then how do you know what goes on behind closed doors? So like you talk about it, so then they can try to cut down. Like you hear about, especially like in like the southern states, so like Alabama and like I don't know about Florida, but probably. But like states where it's like, oh yeah. So
you telling me if I go to Alabama and I want to butt fuck somebody?
I don't know if it's still a thing, but it was a thing.
And I wanted to butt fuck somebody.
I'll look it up right now while you're talking about butt fucking.
If I butt fucked and then told people, I could be held accountable for that.
Yep. So
I thought that was like the number one form of birth control was anal.
So here you go. Sodomy laws in Alabama. Can you butt fuck in Alabama? In 2019, they changed.
Can you butt fuck?
But like that wasn't when it comes to sodomy versus rape. Our clients want to know which crime is sentenced most harshly.
Jesus.
Well, obviously, rape should be sodomy in the first degree, class A felony, in convicted of first degree, up to 99 years in prison.
Jesus Christ.
That can't be.
Like consensual sodomy.
A person commits the crime of sodomy in the first degree if he or she does any of the following: engages in sodomy with another person by forcible compulsion. Well, that would be rape.
That's just rape.
That's rape.
Oh, okay.
Engages in sodomy with another person who is incapable of consent by reason.
Also rape.
Also rape.
Oh, so they're just talking about
being
rape.
16 years of age or older engages with a person who is less than 12 years old. That's rape.
That's also rape.
Like,
okay, so they're using
rape.
Sodomy as a term of rape.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the sentence makes sense.
Yeah, that's 100%. This is all just rape. So
is sodomy maybe sodomy is just rape, but I don't think that's the case. Isn't it a biblical term?
What is sodomy? sexual intercourse involving anal copulation.
What the fuck?
Copulation?
Copulate?
Copulation.
Maybe. I don't
But
know.
yeah. So it's
Interesting.
but that law was rape, and obviously rape. You should go to jail for the rest of your life. Like that's. But I was under the impression that that was just Alabama. But I have heard that like the whole like butt stuff is illegal in certain states,
I've heard that as well.
and that's fucking stupid.
So does that mean also felching is
So
illegal?
okay, all right. So have you ever like been with somebody who felched before?
No.
So felching is the act of coming into a butthole and then farting it out,
Yeah.
like a volcano.
Yeah, I have not ever been involved with anybody that felched.
I've never, but
Well, I think the act is eating it out of the butthole.
is that?
I thought that felching included eating the cum out of the butt.
Let me look up felching. Yeah, probably Urban Dictionary because.
It's not going to be on the Merriam-Webster.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's eating chocolate cream pies.
Why did I think it was farting? What is that called? When you.
Huh. When you fart out a load?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, here we go. Felching makes me want to puke is the definition. That's fair. Yeah, to remove sexual fluids from partner's anus, sucking or licking. Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. You got to eat the chocolate cream pie.
Yeah, it is.
So no, I have
typically
not
with
ever.
a straw. What the fuck? So then, what is
Farting
Yeah.
a chocolate cream pie. I don't know.
Because that's definitely something. So that has me all fucked up now because I just cum fart
Cum farts. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
now, or a splart, a sperm fart.
A sperm fart. Sure.
Now, but then there's also a cream pie, and some people think cream pies, that's when you eat your jizz out of someone's pussy after you. But I've heard that from multiple people.
Well, I think that a cream pie is just putting the load in there.
that is.
And then like someone could go eat the cream pie, but I feel
I
like
don't
that's-
want to eat my own cream pie.
No, but there are guys that do.
Or like snowballing
Snowballing is where you spit it from one person's mouth to the other
Yep.
person's mouth.
and or cum kissing.
Yeah, cum swap.
Cum swap.
That used to be. I was big on that.
Was it Clerks? Where she was like, oh, he was really big into snowballing.
Probably.
And he was like, you sucked, what, 37 dick in a row? But like, I don't know. I feel like, and not because cum doesn't gross me out. Like, it doesn't gross me out at
Right.
all. Like,
Yeah, because you're coming on your tummy.
I'm cummy on my tummy, but I don't want to eat my own cum after it's been inside of somebody just because I don't want to eat my cum.
Sure.
Like, I'm just way
It didn't have
good.
to go in somebody or not. I don't just don't want to eat it.
I don't want to eat cum.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
I think that's fair, right?
You know what else you could do with your cum? You can make a snow globe with your cum.
Okay, so snow globing is well, I don't even know if this is the term, but it just
Sure, it
sounds
is.
like
It is now.
It is now. So you're in the tub, you take a bath, you decide to jerk off. Well, all that cum has to go somewhere, so it floats around like a fucking snow globe. And it does. It coagulates and like sticks to itself, and it floats.
And it's very
So I've
sticky
been told.
in the water.
But like, so you jerk off. You typically don't, but say you get it on your tummy, right?
Right.
If you go to shower, you have to scrub it off.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a weird.
It can't be wiped off.
It can't be wiped.
Oh, I've done it before.
What is it? There's something about Mary where she's like, oh, you got a little hair gel.
What is that? Hair gel? And she wipes it and she puts it in her hair.
You're just sticking it way up.
Yeah. That's never happened to me. I know exactly where my loads are going. I've never like lost a bit of the load.
My tummy.
My loads are not going on your tummy.
He says that, but yeah, like I feel like I don't know, like if I know where my load is going, but like sometimes you like, or it'll be like on my arm, and then I'll shower and be like, oh shit. Like,
Oh no! So you've lost track of
I've lost
bits
track
of load.
Well, because that first pump,
Yeah. Could go anywhere.
It can go. It's
Sometimes
that's a fun game.
I always like to see how far I can shoot it. See if I
Sure.
can hit the backboard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of how far you can shoot it,
Yeah.
how do you feel about people that walk their piss into the toilet?
Like they start pissing from far away.
Someone we work with does that.
telling me that you watched him walking in?
I did. I went to the bathroom and feet were all the way back. And the only reason you would have to do that is one, you're hard.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Which that would be weird to walk into the work bathroom.
Yes.
Erect.
Yeah. But like,
yeah, you're right.
Yesterday,
you have to be,
or 2 days ago.
You got to be. No, I've walked some piss back.
Sure. Yeah.
Whoa, like a fire hose, and I just start taking stuff.
I've never,
it blasts me back a little bit.
Because
Whoa.
also, if it just sprays. If you have to pee that bad, just hold your dick down.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
But it was wild, and the only reason I noticed it was because I heard a thud. And then I saw the feet like walking toward the toilet.
You should have waited.
I did.
Do you know? Oh, so you know who it is.
I'll
Tell me later.
I'll tell you as soon as we get off of it. Yeah. And I meant to tell you yesterday, but I couldn't find you. But yeah, so that's weird.
Walking your piss. Yeah. I went to a frat party one time in Newark, and there was a piss wall. And if you could, somebody had like a Sharpie.
Okay.
And you'd have to see who could piss the highest on the wall.
That's fucked. Like,
no, it was fun. And
was
then
it though?
Well, because you could always tell who had the highest, and you say, "Hey, bring the Sharpie over here." And if there was a new wet spot higher than the Sharpie, you know that somebody got it.
Now, if you go into a public bathroom, do
Yes.
you lift the toilet seat up if it's disgusting, or do you just
With
piss?
my foot. With my
What
foot.
if it's so bad? Do you just piss on it?
No. Well, I'm a urinal. I always urinal.
Same.
Yeah, but if there's no urinals, yeah,
And that happens sometimes. You know what I used to do when I was in elementary school?
yeah.
I used to just piss in the corner of the bathroom.
Oh no, you're that kid.
I don't know why. Clearly, I was potty trained.
When I was living with my mom, still, like I was probably
Yeah.
18 plus years old.
Yeah.
I would, instead of running upstairs, we only had one bathroom in the whole house. I would run outside, and it was dark, and I was playing video games, and I didn't want to go all the way upstairs
just
and
go
wake
outside to
everybody.
piss?
So I would just go outside and I would piss, and I
Okay.
like killed a spot of grass because
did
I would
you?
always
'Cause
piss
you
in the
would-
same
it's
spot.
like a dog, you
and
have
then
to move
And
them.
I recognized that, and I started to like wave it around, like wee.
Did your mom ever say anything?
No.
So I used to shit my pants as a kid because I didn't want to use. So if I was in your pool, I'm probably shitting in it. If
Oh,
I'm
no.
at school, shitting in it.
Okay.
Shitting in my
shitting
pants.
in your school.
I'm shitting. Yeah, I'm shitting wherever I am because I didn't want to wipe my ass.
Oh, okay.
And still to this day,
You still have a problem wiping your
I
ass.
do. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever truly learned. And damn it. But let me ask you this:
Yeah.
how often though should you shit? Like, how often do you shit? Once a day?
At least once a day.
Sometimes I go 4 or 5 days without shitting.
I think you need more fiber.
And when I do, it's just blood.
I think you need more fiber.
Probably.
Some more regular, good dietary fiber.
But my thing is, though, too, shitting is a waste of time.
no, that's some of my best. I get some of my best work done on the toilet.
So productive on the.
Sort of.
Now, is it Butters?
That's where I play my New York Times game. I play Wordle.
Whenever you're playing Wordle with us, you're
Yeah, because
shitting.
I send you guys all the results.
Well, is it? Did you like how I got what's the big word?
The spanogram.
Was it magazines?
Yeah, that was good. On
Never
the first
played it
thing.
before. Yeah,
Yeah, that was good.
I know.
I like that game.
It's just hard.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But what was this? Oh, Butters.
How-
Well, he's like, oh wait, are you not supposed to turn around when you poop? So you have a little ledge to put your chocolate milk and comic
yeah,
books.
but then you have to take your pants all the way off when you poop.
And fuck that. The only way I'm doing that is if it's a twofer, the jerk poop.
Ah, yeah, sure.
So if I'm going to do both, pants are coming off of not my shirt because I don't want.
Did you just jerk off right into the toilet?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
fine. I've done that before.
I don't. But it's hard because standing and coming is really difficult.
Oh, it'll burn your legs up. That's like a leg workout.
It is. So that's it.
Do you come first or poop first?
Poop first.
Yeah,
Poop
that makes
first,
sense.
bidet,
Could you imagine trying
flush.
to hold the poop? Oh, you flush it. You don't
I
load
don't-
the turd. You don't have frosted turds.
Nope. I shit, wipe. So I'm like clean,
Yeah,
ready to go.
right.
Then I'll come and then I will shower. Typically
Yeah.
it's all before a shower.
Yeah.
It's all pre-shower. Like I'm not going to jerk off typically if I'm not going to shower right
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, that's
Because I
fine.
don't want to marinate in my own jizz. But I feel like I don't shit enough. Like, and I think,
I don't think that you do.
and I feel like I should probably shit more.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, man, like I feel like it's gotten better. Like
Your poop.
my poop.
Yeah.
But like I
Just
still
increase that fiber.
won't shit at work. I'm like, I refuse to shit at work, even if I have to.
I love pooping at work.
There's not enough toilet paper in the bathroom for me.
Yeah, you need a bidet.
I need a bidet. Do you think?
Well, we already talked about this. You're supposed to be spitting on your toilet paper.
So yeah, what the fuck? So speaking of like of spit though, and pissing and shitting.
Yeah.
Do you think that squirting is just pissing?
I've looked into this.
And there's not a whole lot of data.
There's not a whole lot, but what data is there says that it's
something else.
What is it? It's likely piss. It comes from where piss comes from. Like,
oh, so it comes out of the piss hole? Because there's a piss hole.
Yes, right. Yeah. Yes. But it's got something else in it. So what they did, I think it was in Japan, and I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently they emptied these women's bladders.
Okay.
And they filled their bladders back up with blue, like a blue liquid, right? And then they had these women squirt, and they were going to see what came out, and it always came out blue liquid. But then I think there's a disclaimer there that there's something else mixed in with it. And does mixing something else in it make it squirt? Yeah, make it squirt rather than piss.
Because not everyone,
even if the main ingredient of squirt is piss, it still can be piss.
I was going to say the main ingredient of squirt is squirt, but yes, I think it is piss.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. And
but
to
it's
that,
sweeter.
And to that, I say, bring it on.
Sure,
I'm willing to try.
But like piss doesn't gross me out. Squirt doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a proper
squirt. A female ejaculate. You call it what it
sure,
is.
Yeah.
Call it by its proper name.
R.I.P. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know. That's just something that we've been talking about for a while. Is squirting and squirt culture.
Yeah, sure. I'm in.
You know what? I don't know. There are a lot of people who are like super anti, like fuck that. You know.
You know what? I'm going to a party, a squirt party, and it's BYOT, and I'm bringing all the tea. Bring your own tarp.
Wet work, I believe.
I think
wet work is where like you get down and like 5 dudes piss on you.
Oh yeah,
and that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if
water play,
water sports,
water sports is what it's called. Yes.
Just would you wear a swimsuit?
Whee! Bring a rubber ducky.
Next week we probably won't talk about getting squirted on for
you don't
15
think so?
minutes. Maybe. Because who knows? Now we talk about whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, I guess it's not even ironically enough, but we actually have to record our next episode within the next couple days.
Yeah.
So a twofer.
Yeah.
Then I think the next week after that episode drops, we'll be doing our interview.
I hope.
I hope
so.
I think we're just waiting on a couple things to transpire. But once again, thank you for all of the support.
Yeah.
Our listens have been going up, which is awesome. I'm hoping now that the link is embedded in the players embedded in our link. It's easier for people to listen, but also if you haven't already, please add us on Instagram and go to that who.b/daddies podcast link to, we're going to work on our website probably in the next month or two to get that squared away. That's just, we haven't had the time. There's so much going on in our personal lives that like we barely have enough time to make sure that we get an episode that's also like not rushed and we have the time to dedicate to a solid episode. Right. But go in, buy a t-shirt. I think there's 9 days left by the time this airs.
Oh, it'll be just a few. That's true. I never even thought about that.
There's only going to be like 3 days left, right?
Yeah, probably.
Because there's 9 days left now.
And so it's less than that. 5 days. Oh, yeah.
What's 9
You might be right.
So there's going to be like 3 or 4 days left. I can always extend it. Like, I don't know what their rules are, but if we don't hit that 24 shirts sold, the campaign won't kick off. Which, and we'll just launch it again. But I think we'll get there.
Yeah.
But if you're listening, go on, because we have up to 50s, and this will be the only run of this shirt that we do.
Yeah, the OG.
This is the OG. This is the first one. We will have other shirts coming out, but this will be the first
it's
shirt.
going to be the only run until, like, I don't know, 15 years from now. We made it big and we want a cash grab.
Oh, for sure.
We'll bring back the OG.
But this will be the OG run. Like, this specific run is the only run of, and then, it's just our logo, but it has a cool front.
Yeah.
Really nice t-shirts. Once again, Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. I'm Greg.
And I'm Eric.
And we are the Daddies.